Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks, Capture, Stress. In today's video, it is now episode 2 of the Gambits Galore. So, today we're going to be going over the Alien Gambit, and I know that you might be, if you do watch the channel, that realistically, of a Saturday we'll be doing the Fee Day, but for now we're going to put that on a bit of a hold, as I want to start getting this Gambits Galore up a bit more. So, without further ado, we're going to be going over the Alien Gambit and how I played a game here, which I won. Did make a few mistakes, I think. There was times I could have won a piece here. It's a very short game, only 21 moves, but I also want to go through the Alien Gambit here as well and show you everything to do with it. Okay, so I did get a great move here. I did not get a brilliant move at all, anything like that just yet. There was only one inaccuracy, but a few mistakes here. But obviously, at the start of the game with Gambits, I'm never going to have proper high percentage at the start, due to obviously the first few moves being mistakes, because obviously I'm giving up a pawn or something. So if we start here, I play e4 and then c6. So the Alien Gambit comes from the Caro Khan. So we play d4. He responds with d5. Now we play knight c3, and what we're expecting here is a capture, and we capture back, which does happen. Now this is where you'll see this knight move, and then we play here, but he plays a little bit delayed here. That's the only thing I've got to say with this, is a little bit delayed, so we just had to wait a little bit. But now this is where we get our knight to bring in, and obviously he can't push, otherwise it's checkmate, so he has to push his pawn first. We bring our knight out, he brings his knight here, we quickly go back. We probably went to the wrong place, and now this is where we sacrifice. So just to show you real quick, as I'll do it on here, what it should have looked like is this. If I just make those next few moves, sometimes this is the sort of position you would get, and now this is what it would be. So then you'd bring the knight out. Now, a common mistake here, as I'll probably go in one of the learning openings if we ever do a load of gambits, is this is actually a mistake. Just real quick, if someone was to play this, as you just have knight check winning with a fork, as you've got two pieces onto one. But this is the main position you're looking at here, so hopefully, you know, we're actually only a point down, even though we've sacrificed a piece for a pawn. So, obviously, because they can't castle, and we've got these bishops coming out. Anyway, we take here. He obviously captures back. Now we castle, as we said there. Now he brings his knight in again. Wouldn't really say that was the best move until he needs to get his bishops out. We push c4 here, and then he goes back here. So this is why you follow chess principles. In the opening, our classic thing is don't move a piece twice in the opening. Now, don't get me wrong, the only reason I can say this is fine is when you go from the knight to d2 and then to b3, for example. That's fine, because you're kind of making your knight as if it's going to c3. But when you've obviously moved to d5 and then back again, it's not good. You've now wasted a huge amount of tempo. And now look at what I've done here. I've managed to go from a point down to now half a point up, as you can see in the eval bar here. But now look at the center I'm gaining as well. I completely control it. Maybe other than d5, which I still have mostly got some control over, I have huge control on e5, and I just look really good if I bring in any other piece now. So I respond with a4. Now the reason I respond with this, they say it's a miss, as I should have got my bishop out, but I wanted to attack this knight again, as just cause it as much, pain as possible. So he brings his pawn out there. Now we bring our bishop out. Just did a little bit, one move after. Now he responds with bishop to d6. And I made the silly mistake of not capturing, as now I'm just going to show you. As I went back here, because I didn't really want to have this whole that, but I didn't realise all you got to do is capture, and then you've got a nice little fork. So I missed that. Very silly miss. That's something that I think everyone could see. 1500 and above, so it's very silly from me. And then obviously you'd have this. And now we're just winning by about 3 points. So, very big mistake. Anyway, we play back here. Now, luckily, he does, in fact, capture, which does help us a little bit. As now, as we can see here, we've got a lovely rook, file here for the king. And we're looking at giving some sort of check now. And now we're looking at pushing pawns and rook to c1. So, he plays queen c7. Bit of a mistake here, allowing us now to be a point up. And now we give our check, as we're only a few moves away now. As you see, the knight comes back. We bring our queen to f3. Not the best move, as now we're dead even. But after the knight comes to d7, the rook comes to d1 here. This was the biggest mistake of them all. So after this, we capture, and the big thing here is all you got to do is capture back, and there might be something, but he in fact plays knight to d7, which is mate in 2. I believe there's only one mate in 2, which I did find, and it's queen to f7 check, and after the king moves, a very nice checkmate of, it's very weird to find, it's bishop to c2. So a very long, obviously the pawn can't block because it's check here, and it can't move because the king is blocked by the rook and the pawn. So that was my game in the Alien Gambit. Just to clarify a few things, I feel like this wasn't really a mistake. Neither obviously was this because it's part of the Gambit. This mistake, I feel like he's moved it a few too many times and he's lost all tempo. And even if he moved, maybe it would have made more sense, but he kept going back and forth. This was obviously a blunder for him, in which I made a very silly miss, and I've just got to look to it next time. I could say that it was a 3-minute game and I was too quick, but I still had 2.5 minutes left on my clock, so it wasn't the best. Now, queen c7, I wouldn't say it's the biggest mistake, but it definitely has some sort of, maybe not the best move, as his bishop never got out here. Yeah, this queen move, I would not say is a mistake in my opinion. I'm developing it. I know why they wanted me to do the bishop, as they wanted me to do this, and let's just say played this, and now we have this idea, and getting our queen to g6. Our rook going to here. Again, I'm not saying it's a mistake. Obviously, this is what the engine is saying, and the engine has obviously not got our type of human moves, we'll call it, as some of their moves, like they want to put the rook here. Maybe it was smarter, as to be fair, I might have lost a pawn, but if we go through this here, I think I had a very nice check here, and after this, I feel like I'm still actually obviously winning, because so we can't play that. He has to play something like this then, which just doesn't look the best. After like a check here, he's losing something, isn't he? So he has to push his pawn on, which we've just won this. Although, have we won this? No. But I didn't really want to get in this position. So, obviously, I would say this is fine in my opinion. But again, the engine says otherwise. This is a mistake, they say. I guess there was something here I just missed. I think it actually was the bishop that comes across, maybe not. And then maybe I bring it up with the queen. And then knight to d7 was a very bad move because it blocks in the bishop, messes up this whole pawn. Now this knight is blocking everything. And it's just a very simple 2-move checkmate. So that is my Alien Gambit here. Hopefully you're enjoying these gambits here. I'm really enjoying playing them. I play these actually on Lichess, as I've made an account on there, so I purely play gambits as much as I can. There's probably 1 or 2 games I might not be able to, because sometimes I try and play a gambit, but they play so defensive that I physically can't, and they play g3, and I can't because they're Frenchettoing and they're not attacking the centre. But I always have, on my TikTok, I've been putting out like multiple. I think I put this out a few days ago, so we have that. And yeah, I mean, any type of gambit I'll try and show here. I'll try and go different ones. Now, I have already got a few on the Jurash Gambit, which is probably going to be next episode, as I quite like the Gambit. It's obviously not the best Gambit at all, but you'll see why soon. So, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So, thank you, and bye-bye.